So, picture this, living in a mother-daughter house with separate kitchens. It's like an episode of a reality show, minus the cameras and drama, of course. The narrator and his sister have this wild dynamic going on, which is absolutely vital to the story, like the secret ingredient that makes Grandma's famous chili unforgettable. Now, on the fateful night of the incident, our narrator is glued to a scary movie in a pitch-black room. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? This dark ambience cranks up his vulnerability and fear levels like a dramatic movie score. Who needs horror flicks when you have real-life horror waiting just beyond your screen? Then, out of nowhere, he thinks he hears his sister's voice, and suddenly, grogginess swoops in like a ninja. Confusion and fear take the stage, proving that sleep deprivation is like a bad magician. It distorts reality in the most bewildering ways. It's like waking up to find your toaster has transformed into a dragon. At first, he thinks the mysterious figure lurking outside is his friend Molly. I mean, who wouldn't want a surprise party from a friend in the middle of the night, right? This moment really shines a spotlight on how isolation can twist perception, turning shadows into friends and friends into, well, let's hope not intruders. Amidst all this, our hero grapples with fear, debating whether to call the police or just sit back and enjoy the suspenseful episode of life in the dark. It's amazing how fear can turn you into a statue, paralyzed in a threatening situation, as if he's auditioning for a role as a garden gnome instead of taking action. As memories flood back of a traumatic incident involving his brother, things get real, adding depth to the family's vulnerability. Who knew being home alone could be so stressful? Like that time you accidentally locked yourself out while trying to impress your crush. Sudden emergencies can really throw a wrench into one's life plans. This anxiety about his brother's condition sets the stage for the dramatic unraveling of events at home. Family dynamics are so rich in emotion, it's like a soap opera, but with less commercial breaks and slightly more chaos. You can practically feel the tension brewing like a pot of coffee when you need it the most. Then, out of nowhere, intruders show up. Cue the panic and helplessness, folks. Our narrator's instinct to hide kicks in faster than a cat dodging a vacuum cleaner. It's all about survival, baby. You'd think hiding would be a basic life skill, but in the moment, it certainly feels like a game of hide and seek gone horribly wrong. In the aftermath reveals some unfortunate consequences of the break-in, stolen valuables and a lingering sense of insecurity. It's like being kicked out of your comfort zone and landing straight in a horror movie sequel, leaving the family questioning if they should invest in a good alarm system or just a fort made of pillows. Now, let's rewind a bit. The man first hears the voice while trying to relax on his deck, which is about as calming as finding a spider in your shoe. The eerie ambience sets the scene for a suspense thriller, making his home life feel more like a haunted house tour than cozy vibes. As the voice cries for help, he feels his unease grow, making him question if he's safe in his own backyard. It's like a psychological tension meter cranked up to 11, and honestly, who needs horror films when your front lawn is auditioning for its own thriller? The tension escalates as the voice creeps closer. It's not just a voice anymore, it's practically a character inching towards his backyard, raising the stakes like a high-stakes poker game gone south. Fear and confusion are now best buddies, and they're really throwing a party. In a moment of pure panic, the narrator screams and tries to scare off the intruder, like a deer caught in headlights, only with a touch of primal instinct. It's a classic case of fight or flight, and our narrator is going full-on fight mode, channeling every action hero cliché in the book. After a thorough house search, the confusion deepens when he realizes he can't find the woman. Is he losing it, or has his house turned into a magician's stage? This twist of events leaves him questioning his own sanity, proving that sometimes, reality is stranger than fiction, especially after a sleepless night. That unsettling experience doesn't just fade away, it haunts the narrator's sleep like an annoying mosquito buzzing around your ear. It shows just how much such incidents can disrupt mental peace. Restlessness becomes the unwanted guest that just won't leave. The initial shock of discovering this woman hiding under the bed is like the worst plot twist imaginable. What starts as a creepy crawl under the bed escalates into a chaotic struggle, showing just how instinctive our fight or flight responses can be. Emotions are running wild like a roller coaster, and no one has a seatbelt. Enter the narrator's neighbor, swooping in like a superhero with no cape, ready to lend a hand. Their quick action not only provides immediate assistance but also underscores the importance of community support during emergencies. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to feel like part of a neighborhood watch worthy of its own reality show? Finally, when the police arrive, they bring with them the reality of dealing with a recurring individual in distress. It's a reminder of the broader issues society faces, like mental health and substance abuse. Let's just say it's a complex situation that deserves all our compassion, not just a button on our remote.